Good afternoon, viewers, and welcome back to the Elite Karting Series at Daytona Milton Keynes. It is round 7 of the championship, and we've just got one more race to go. Andrew McWilliam close to that championship crown, trying to snatch it in this final race of the day. Let's head down to the grid. Taking a look at the circuit then for the final time this season, and we see the 1.3 kilometre beast of an international circuit here at Daytona Milton Keynes. It is really a fantastic track, one of the longest and biggest in the country, opened in 1989. Back then it was very different to what it is today. Taking a look at the grid then, we see Andrew McWilliam on pole position, 2 wins in the first 2 races of the day, enough for 50 points. Dom Balasaitis has finished second in both of our races so far today. He starts alongside Andrew, unsurprisingly, on row 1. Phillip Baboolal and Tiley-Gooden were both tied on points on row 2. Jacob also tied on points on row 3. However, he has to start 5th. Alex Brazier is alongside him on the 3rd row of the grid. Nick Fallon and Jack Whitehouse were tied on points on row 4, the tiebreaker being their fastest lap of the day so far. Salvador Newman and Tyler Thom are on row 5, with Adam Thompson and Chris Bowers on row 6. Dane Christensen and Terry Battersby make up the rest of the grid. Andrew McWilliam then knows what he is tasked with in order to take the championship victory at the end of this race. 15 minutes more, still in the pouring rain here at Milton Keynes. Don't think we'll be getting a dry session in a 2-hour race here. So definitely going to remain wet for the time being. Means everyone's got to be very, very cautious. Once more down into turn 1. This time though, I think Phillip Baboolal will be encouraged by his wet pace heading into this race. I'm sure he'll be hoping he can maybe get to that top step at the end of the day. Let's go racing then for one more time this evening. We have the green flag and down into turn 1. Andrew McWilliam seems to squeeze through into the lead of the race. Dom Balasaitis is forced out. Phillip Baboolal goes down the inside. Now Guns for the lead. 2 positions in 1 corner for Phillip Baboolal. Gets himself up into the lead, but Andrew McWilliam is back on the outside line, trying to find his way through back into that first spot, but Phillip seems to have got it ahead of Andrew. Dom Balasaitis has a look down the inside of Andrew, not quite able to find a way through on that occasion. Here goes Andrew down the inside of Phillip, again not quite able to find the way through into turn 5. Nick Fallon, he's under pressure here as we go down into turn 5 and out on the exit up to turn 6 with the rain still coming down. It looks like Nick has managed to just about get ahead of that spot. He's got Tiley-Gooden by the looks of things just ahead of him, and I believe Dom Balasaitis sitting there in 3rd position. So a 3-way fight for the lead as Nick looks down the inside, thinks about a way to get through on Tiley-Gooden, and he's done exactly that. Forced a little bit out wide there, Jamie. I think a little bit awkward for him.
Yeah, it's a really good start there by Phillip Baboolal. So up into the lead of the race, Nick Fallon, it was Jacob Equeall who's battling it out there for P6, I believe it was. The drivers funnel their way through a rather wet turn number 9. Now back on board with Nick Fallon. You can see also up in the top right-hand corner, you've got Adam Thompson battling out with Tyler Thom for, I believe that is 10th position.
As Nick's made a mistake here and he's into the wall, he might just collect it, going to lose a position there to the 1-1-2 of Tiley-Gooden, so that's Nick's progress halted rather quickly. He looks back down the inside line though, a little bit of a switchback presents itself and he gets the run, but I think a little bit of a better run on the outside line as now to the inside he goes, crosses the lines over slightly and looks like he's going to get through into turn 2 this time. So Nick Fallon, his mistake isn't punished a great deal. We've got a replay here of something that happened to Chris Bowers as he flies into turn 10. And I've seen that mistake happen quite a few times here at Milton Keynes. Here's the battle for the lead as Andrew McWilliam looks at Phillip Baboolal, tries to set up that move as we go down into turn 5. But the problem is the run down this little short chute here is not long enough to really set up a switchback. Andrew will try it here out of turn 5, perhaps as he looks to get that better exit onto the curb. But again, Phillip Baboolal holds firm for the time being. Adam Thompson, what is he able to do through into turn 5? He's got Tyler battling with him, also a driver behind that's going to cause him a few issues, and it looks like Adam Thompson, Luke, is going to lose a position.
Yes, Alex Brazier there up his inside. So Alex Brazier, I think he had a bit of a spin early on, and now fighting his way back through the field. So Alex Brazier now up into 10th position, though Adam Thompson's now up his inside, going through turn number 7. Is Adam going to get a better exit here? Not quite. So Alex Brazier now up into 10th behind Tyler Thom.
Andrew McWilliam here down into turn 9 has got the slipstream on Phillip Baboolal. Slipstream actually a factor here more than in any other Daytona track, I would say, but he's going to go wide and go a little bit deep into the corner. That gives Phillip the chance to pull away a little bit, perhaps though the tidy line for Andrew through into turn 10. It looks like it's equalised out somewhat, but Phillip at the moment has got that lead and seems to have the lead pretty comfortably for the time being. We'll see if Andrew is able to come back at him in the next couple of minutes or so. That's the beauty, Luke, of these 15-minute races. You have that extra little bit of time to make sure that you get yourself back into the fight.
You do indeed. Nick Fallon, by the way, he's all the way up in P4. He's doing a really, really good job here. Nick's never raced in any championship races here at Milton Keynes, only ever done open races. So Nick is doing a really, really good job up in P4 ahead of Jamie Tiley-Gooden. But meanwhile, Andrew McWilliam is all over the back of Phillip Baboolal here as they make their way through turn number 4. I think he's got the cutback here. He has indeed. So Phillip Baboolal just gives a little bit of a shake of the head. I think he made a bit of a mistake there through turn 4, went in a little bit deep. And now Andrew McWilliam, he's in to the lead of the race.
He's now down the inside. We see another move getting made. So Andrew gets himself back into the lead of the race. Phillip Baboolal goes back to second position then. I'm sure he's not done just yet though. He's a very aggressive driver. We've seen a few of his moves in the last couple of races, so I don't think he'll be too conservative in his braking. Particularly down into that turn 11 corner. We'll see if he sets himself up for it here as we go down into turn 9. He's just behind Andrew McWilliam, and Andrew needs to be careful to cover off that inside as well. The wet line is very, very tricky as around the outside Phillip goes. We'll see if there is any move at all against Andrew McWilliam, as here we go down the inside. Phillip Baboolal goes for a dive from absolutely miles back and allow Andrew to cross over the lines in defence, and Phillip goes a little bit too deep and just can't quite cook up that move properly, but he's got a chance here down the inside line, gets the better run than Andrew. Will have to be brave on the brakes once again into turn 2, and they make a little bit of contact. Clean racing between the two of them, I think though, Luke. I think Phillip wasn't quite alongside enough for Andrew to give him the space.
No, I think Phillip just braking a little bit later than Andrew into that corner, so that's why he caught up. Phillip's taking a bit of a tighter line as well, kind of using the concrete on the inside of turn 2 to help him turn the car. So we just cycling our way through some onboards here, going through the field. Just was on board with Adam Thompson there, but in 11th, and now on board with Nick Fallon, who's up in P4. Nick, like I say, doing a great job here in between the two former MK champions, Dom Balasaitis and Jamie Tiley-Gooden.
Phillip Baboolal out of turn 7 he goes, but Andrew gains a little bit of time, and I think he is the faster driver. He's in position to win the championship at the end of this race. It looks like he's going to get himself the championship at the end of this one. He needs to finish 8th position, as I was trying to explain. So, well, he's got a lot in hand and can afford to drive a little bit cautiously. But he did say that he's after the Grand Slam here. He's after the sweep of the day. Well, he hasn't technically got the Grand Slam for not leading every single lap, but he can still pick up that sweep and maximum points out of the round. But we'll see if Phillip Baboolal could do anything about that. And this time it is an absolutely colossal dive bomb down the inside into turn 10, and he collects himself into turn 11, and he collects himself far better than he did before. Andrew trying to come back at him here out of turn 1, but Phillip gets himself back into the lead of the race. He came from miles back in the braking zone.
That was a fantastic move there by Baboolal. Came out of nowhere. Obviously, Andrew, as you can see, he's taking the outside line through the final corner, whereas Baboolal, like with turn 2, he's using the concrete on the inside to get the car turned around. He's taking that inside line, and Baboolal took it to great effect there. But Andrew McWilliam, he's still right behind Baboolal. Both of them, I think, have just gone a little bit deep there onto the concrete on the outside of turn 4. Now, Andrew McWilliam, he's got the run on Phillip Baboolal as they head down now to turn number 5. Andrew McWilliam back up the inside. Is Baboolal going to be able to get the cutback? Not quite. So Andrew McWilliam, he's back into the lead of the race.
Gets himself back through. Phillip tries to get the better exit though, and it's not too fruitful for him. So Andrew is able to stay ahead, but that is another dive from Phillip Baboolal down the inside. And again, Andrew just can't get him out of his ear at the moment. Phillip Baboolal is really pushing him, but the moves are very optimistic and sometimes a little bit too optimistic, as is the same there. Let's wait and see if there's round 3 then between the two of them as we go through into turn 9. Phillip goes a little bit deep but gets himself set up nicely for turn 10. Then the turn-in seems equally as good. He's been a lot more consistent in this race than he was in that race too, where he had a lot of troubles, and this time Andrew McWilliam sees him coming. However, on the exit, he doesn't see the switchback coming, gets the better exit though, and is able to fend it off.
A little bit of contact there as well on the apex, and Phillip Baboolal, he has received a contact warning now. So he's received a contact warning and a 1-point deduction for multiple pieces of contact in this race, but he's still right behind Andrew McWilliam as they battle it out for the lead of this race. Like you say, Tom, Andrew McWilliam, all he needs to do is finish in 8th place in this race and the championship is his. So he only needs to keep it pointing in a straight line. You can see Adam Thompson here looking at a bit of a replay as Wolf goes in a little bit hot there into turn number 10 and he's off in the wall. So bit of a crash there from Adam Thompson, who was in the lead of the heavyweight class. He's buried in the tyre wall. So yeah, a bit of an accident there from Adam. I'm sure that wasn't intentional. I think he just locked up a bit there as he got to the end of the back straight. And yeah, I think he's now down in 12th place as we ride back on board now with Phillip Baboolal. You can see Andrew McWilliams on board up in the top right hand corner. These two still battling out. Is this the end of the battle, or will it continue? We'll find out soon.
It's down into turn 8 we go, and Phillip now under pressure. Turn 7 we go now into turn 8, and Phillip is under pressure from Dom Balasaitis. Dom not able to find a way through, and Phillip holds on for at least another couple of moments. I think Dom actually had a little bit of a look and then fell away on the exit of that corner, so slightly deceptive how close he is to Phillip with 6 minutes to go in the race. Down into turn 9 we go, and well, Phillip's still trying to chase after Andrew, but Andrew's pace has been supreme, and that's been a theme throughout this entire round. He's really woke up and decided that he wants to win a championship, says it's his 2nd championship in a day if he is able to complete it, as well, Luke having won in another series earlier in the day. Phillip knows that he's got that contact warning, just to see that black and white flag on the board to the right hand side. With 5 minutes to go, he needs to behave himself because you don't want to get a black flag.
No, you don't. And just shout out as well, Jack Whitehouse is all the way up in P6 at the moment. This is his first time ever driving a D-Max kart, and I believe one of the first times he's ever driven in the wet before in any kart. So Jack Whitehouse is doing a fantastic job here up in P6. He was only passed to drive a D-Max kart this morning. So yeah, Jack doing a really good job ahead of Jacob Equeall, who is in P7. But yeah, riding on board now with Phillip Baboolal. That gap to Andrew McWilliams seems to be increasing slightly, although it is hard to judge. And we've got Dom Balasaitis as well right behind. So Dom doing a great job here up in P3. He's done a really good job all day. Finished 2nd in both of the 2 previous races. And yeah, now up in P3, putting pressure on Phillip Baboolal. So they make their way now through turn number 9. Who is going to come out on top in this battle between the 3 of them? As we've got Nick Fallon. It looks like he's pulled a bit of a gap then to Jamie Tiley-Gooden. So Nick in 4th, Jamie in 5th. Nick doing a really good job here. He's had struggles in the first 2 races, but he's doing a really good job here in this race to hold on to P4.
Yeah, and Jack Whitehouse absolutely wipes the floor with me this morning in that session that you're referring to. Not my greatest day's karting, I have to say, but a very, very good driver, Jack. Exciting to see what he can do in the D-Max karts, and well, it's going to be one of those things where as he goes through the series, he's going to find himself getting just better and better, as to an extent this man has, Phillip Baboolal, very experienced around this track of course, but his results have been picking up over the course of the season. Here he's taking the wet line again down into turn 4, but Andrew seems at this point to have totally gone, and I think Phillip is really having the last rites of this race win chance being read to him at this stage. Needs something remarkable.
Also, just shout out Jamie Tiley-Gooden in 5th. He's a very, very good driver around here. He's not having the best of days here today in the wet, but he is a 2-time champion here at Milton Keynes and former lap record holder as well in the old N35 karts. Also a national finalist in the British Indoor Karting Championship, and he's the current championship leader here in Milton Keynes D-Max Super Champ. So a very, very good driver, doing well as well up in 5th, and he's got his best friend Dom Balasaitis as well up ahead of him. Dom also a 2-time champion here at Milton Keynes. The two of them doing a good job.
Here goes Phillip down into turn 9 again, just trying to chase after Andrew. Spins out of the lead of the race. An uncharacteristic mistake for your race leader, for your potential champion-elect. It'll be interesting to see if we've got video of that, because Andrew McWilliam spins down into turn 9 and gifts the lead, the win, perhaps, to Phillip Baboolal, who seemed to have been totally dominated in the second half of this race by Andrew McWilliam. So Andrew with a really, really big mistake. The question now is if he's able to get back going, which he is, in third position, which would still give him the championship.
So yeah, a couple of onboard cameras have died. That's why we don't have any onboard footage of Andrew's incident. It's because his camera has actually just died. But yeah, you can see Andrew McWilliam, he's recovered. He's still in third position. He's in front of Nick Fallon now. But yeah, big mistake there by Andrew. I think he just lost the back end, basically going through turn 10, went in a bit hot, spun it around, and yeah, ended up going rallycross. So Andrew McWilliam down to P3. He's got to finish only up in 8th though to win the title, so he should still be on course for the title to take the championship ahead of the absent JJ Hind.
And well, I think he'd class it as, even if he didn't finish in 8th position, of course, he'd probably class it as a pretty decent runner anyway. He'd go into that final round needing, what, a point and a half or something stupid like that, so it would be really, really easy for him, and definitely done enough of the work today, but we'll want that championship as we head into the final couple of laps of this one. In fact, depending on where the leaders are, we might be heading into the final lap very, very shortly. These wet conditions make the lap times, which are already very slow at Milton Keynes. Takes roughly about 69 seconds to get around this track in dry conditions, if I'm not remembering completely wrong, Luke. But in wet conditions, it's even longer. You can go up to a minute and a half here around Milton Keynes. Here goes Phillip Baboolal. Then this should be the final lap of the race, and what a drive it would have been to get himself back to winning ways in the EKS. Won't be enough for the overall round victory, of course. That will go only one way as it stands, and that is Andrew McWilliam, but still a very promising drive.
Phillip Baboolal, well, he's a regular here in the EKS, as well as being a regular at Milton Keynes in their Super Champs. He's a former Super Champs champion of the past, and well, Phillip Baboolal, he's never actually won a race before in the EKS. He's 4th in the championship, but hasn't ever won a race, so this will be his first ever race victory in the EKS. He's also never finished on the overall podium. He's never taken a trophy away from an EKS round, so this will be a great achievement from Phillip Baboolal if he does manage to take the win ahead of Dom and Andrew.
Well, he's very accomplished here at Milton Keynes, as we've mentioned a few times on this broadcast, regular of the championships and a driver who is always towards the front of the championships as well. I've seen him race myself in the Super Champs, and he really does fit in around this track. So we'll see if he can seal the deal here. Andrew McWilliam, by the way, is seeming to be attacking Dom Balasaitis. Whether he gets that second position or not isn't frankly important into the final few corners of this race. He's going to win the championship as well. But here comes Phillip Baboolal then. He's got one more corner to go to take victory here in the feature race at Milton Keynes. It really has been a fantastic drive, and albeit with a little bit of luck from Andrew McWilliam's spin, Phillip Baboolal takes his first victory in the Elite Karting Series. A wonderful drive from him, and Andrew McWilliam, even more remarkably, is going to take the championship. It has been an almost perfect round for him, and an almost perfect season as well. He is your lightweight champion. Both championships now have been sewn up as we go down into Sandown Park for the last race of the season, and I can say much deserved.
Brilliant stuff there from Andrew McWilliam. Fastest lap on the race in this race. It's a shame about the spin, otherwise he would have had the complete Grand Slam. Still got the heavyweights though, still to decide. So we've got Dane Christensen in front here of Adam Thompson. He is the lead heavyweight. Dane Christensen, a fellow regular here in the EKS, he's also never won a race. So Dane Christensen, as he comes out of the final corner here, he lives up in Scotland, travels all the way down for every round, and Dane Christensen going to come across the line to take his first ever victory in the EKS ahead of Adam Thompson by just over a second. So brilliant drive there by Dane, fantastic stuff, and yeah, well done to them all.
Phillip Baboolal takes victory here in Milton Keynes in the final race of the day, though he was docked a single championship point due to his contact during the race. Dom Balasaitis finishes in second position. He makes it a hat-trick of second place finishes here in round 7. Overall, a very strong performance from him. Andrew McWilliam picks up third. He was very, very close to Dom at the end, only 0.6 of a second after spinning out from the lead of the race. I don't think he'll mind too much though with the championship trophy in his possession. Nick Fallon, he is in fourth position, a really, really good drive for him. Jamie Tiley-Gooden makes up the rest of the top 5. Jack Whitehouse on DMAC's debut is in 6th position, Jacob Equeall in 7th. Alex Brazier, Salvador Newman and Tyler Thom are the rest of the top 10. Dane Christensen takes victory in the heavyweights. Adam Thompson just behind him in 2nd. Chris Bowers rounding out the podium and Terry Battersby not taking to the start. So we are here with your 2023 EKS Lightweight champion. Andrew didn't quite take the victory in the final race, but it won't really matter. Champion 2023.
Yeah, not much to say. I'm a bottle job pretty much. Yeah, just locked the rears into turn 9 and just went round. Tried my best to get back to Dom, but I didn't have the time left. So it is what it is.
So heading down into Sandown then, obviously you wanted the Grand Slam today. You spoke about that in the paddock area before race 3. You've won the championship. I mean, surely you finished off the championship season with a Grand Slam in Sandown then. That's the plan.
It'd be nice, but Sandown's also my weakest track, so I don't know. If someone like JJ or Rory's racing, I don't think it's happening. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
Well, hopefully the weather's better for it. Thank you, Andrew, and congratulations as well.
Cheers.